I'm going to tell you a story this morning about a single drop of water and their journey throughout life. And I'm going to tell you this story as if I am that drop of water. Now, I know I don't look much like a drop of water, so use your imagination. Okay, so my first memory is of floating up through the sky. And I realized as I was floating that there were lots of other things just like me all around. And together we drifted up and up and up. And then suddenly something exciting happened. I realized I had a form. I was a drop. I was a drop of water. And I realized that whoosh, 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 all the other things around me were also drops of water. And we really liked each other. And so we banded together and we became a big, puffy, wet, cloudy family. And that big, wet, puffy, cloudy family and I drifted through the skies, hither and yon. We had a great time. But then something unexpected happened and we started to come apart. And I could feel myself as a drop again. And more than that, I was falling. I was falling fast. And friends, I have to tell you, that part was exciting. I was falling down out of the sky, and that was great. But as I was falling, I started thinking and I started worrying and I started wondering, what about my big cloudy family? Was I going to be alone? Was this my new form? So I fell and I thought and I worried and I fell and I thought and I worried and then splat! I landed on the ground and everything around me was green and very wet. But I didn't see my friends. And then something happened. I started sinking. I sank and I sank and I sank into the ground, and it was dark and it was cold and I was lonely and nervous. Where were my friends? They were all gone. And then I fell some more, and do you know what happened? I hit something hard. And I had fallen between a rock and a hard place. It was a hard time. But you know what? I persisted. It took time. It took a lot of time. But I made my way through that rock and out the other side. And when I got through the rock, I found a whole bunch of other drops that had also made it through the rock and the hard place. And they told me stories, amazing stories. One water drop told me about how they had been on a leaf that had been eaten by a deer. And well, you can imagine the rest of that part. And another one told me they had been part of a mighty storm. And I heard story after story, and again, we decided to band together. We decided to band together and call ourselves a stream. And so we began to flow together underground, our tiny little stream, gathering new drops as we went, until suddenly we were above ground and we could see the sun. And there were other streams. And we banded together with those other streams until we were a mighty river. And do you know what mighty rivers do? They rush. And so part of that mighty river, we rushed into something even bigger. One of the elder drops called it an ocean. And we tumbled into that ocean, and that is where I live now, in a gigantic ocean surrounded by other drops. And we get new friends all the time. Rain falls from the sky and we celebrate them. And also some of us leave. We go back up into the air and we say goodbye. But because I've been on this journey, I have come to understand I'm not scared. I am not alone. I am always part of something bigger than I am as a single drop. Whether I'm part of a river or a tiny underground stream, whether I'm rain, even when I'm trapped between a rock and a hard place, I know that I am something much greater than myself. I am part of a whole. And that's my story. Thanks for listening.